Okay, we're going to continue talking about properties today. We just have two. It's the associative and the commutative properties. So the first one, associative, means that you can group numbers when adding or multiplying, and it's not going to affect their sum or their product. So um, you can move parentheses around, and it's not going to change your answer. So I want you to write this down. Parentheses move. Numbers stay. So I put a couple of examples here, one for addition and one for multiplication. So the first one, it says 3 plus 5 plus 7 equals 3 plus 5 plus 7. So the numbers did not change, but on the left side there were parentheses around the 3 and the 5. On the right side they were around the 5 and the 7. So the parentheses just moved. The same thing happened with 2 times 4 times 6 and 2 times 4 times 6. Numbers stayed the same spot, but the parentheses moved to different numbers. The commutative property means you can switch the numbers around when adding or multiplying, and it's not going to change your answer. So in this one, the numbers are going to move. So for the first example, it says 4 plus 8 equals 8 plus 4. So the numbers are switched spots. And same thing for 7 times 11 and 11 times 7. If you notice with this second example, it does have parentheses, but that's just to tell us that it's multiplication. But the parentheses actually stay in the same spot. They're around the second number. So the first four examples, we're just going to say which property we are using. So the first one, 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 1 plus 2 plus 3. The numbers stay in the same spots. The parentheses moved, so that is the associative. Remember to not abbreviate. I want you to write out the whole word. Number 2, 5 times 7 times 3 equals 7 times 5 times 3. So the numbers switched spots. The parentheses were around the second and third numbers, so that didn't change. So that is the commutative, since just the numbers changed. Number 3, 2 times 5 times 3 equals 2 times 5 times 3. The parentheses here were around the 5 and the 3, the parentheses here around the 2 and the 5. So the parentheses moved, numbers did not, so that is associative. And then number 4, negative 4 plus 5 equals 5 plus negative 4. So here the numbers switch spots. There's parentheses on the right side, but no parentheses on the left. That's just to tell you that this 4 is a negative 4. It was a little bit more obvious on the left side since it was the first number. So that's the only reason they had parentheses. So since the numbers switch, that's the commutative. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next page. 4 more questions. These say, using the property that we're given, we want to rewrite the expression and then solve it. So sometimes rewriting a problem will help you solve it quicker. So for number 5, we have 1 plus 9 plus 8, and we're going to use the associative property, which means move the parentheses. So instead of having the parentheses around the 9 and the 8, I'm going to put them around the 1 and the 9. Then bring down your plus 8. This is going to be a little easier because 1 plus 9 is a little easier than 9 plus 8. So 1 plus 9 is 10, and 10 plus 8 is 18. For number 6, we're going to move the parentheses again because it says associative. So I'm going to put it on the negative 2 and the 3, and bring down my times 4. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. Bring down your 4. 6 times 4 is 24. So here, it helped us out to move the parentheses because if you have, starting off with multiplying and dividing numbers with the same sign, it tends to be a little easier because here it got rid of the negative quicker than what it would have originally. For number 7, we're using the commutative property, which means switching numbers around. So since I just said it's better to have numbers with the same signs together, I'm going to switch my 5 and my negative 6 so that my negative 6 is by my negative 1. Then we can do 1 times negative 6. Negative 1 times negative 6 is a positive 6 because the negative times negative is a positive. Then times 5 is 30. So some people might already do this in their head. You just don't realize that there's a name for it. Number 8, again, I like to have numbers with the same sign by each other. So I'm going to switch my negative 2 and my 8 so I have my positives right by each other. 10 plus 8 is 18, plus negative 2 is 16. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know.